Ooh, there you go. All right, everybody. Hello, Dr. Fryson here. And I know it's been a moment since I've done something like this for you guys, but I am going to do the energy reading for September. And I'm going to also talk to you guys about a little bit of things regarding business since I am live on the TikTok shop. So I'm doing two things at once. I'm going to make my goal of going live on social media. Actually, I'm doing three things at once because I am also doing my leg massage therapy that I have to do. So I'm going to get that done before I get to the next machine. And there's one more machine after that, right? So, of course, you guys may, if you follow me, you know I was traveling and I will be traveling again next week. So I have to make sure I can walk. Okay, so that's what that's about. All righty, so let's start. And I have shuffled these cards upside down, upside down. Now I'm going to define these people. Don't show. We don't need anybody joining the live. They're going to notify the viewers that I am live. That's great. But you know what? I have a niche market, so these videos will find whom they need to find. And we just can't be worried about all the other ones that don't. So we're going to do three lesson cards for the month of September. And because there's always a main lesson going on and a couple other little vibrations of lessons that transpire during the month. And then we're going to get into the astrology and the numerology information for the month of September. I have the charts pulled up so that I can look at those and give you guys information. Any predictions that I have for you will just come through regarding what's happening. Remember, a year ago, because I'm making this in August, a year ago this weekend, as a matter of fact, tomorrow, the 24th, I gave you guys a prediction that there was going to be that 7-year cycle. So as of tomorrow, Sunday, the 24th, we will have concluded the first calendar year of that energy, meaning we still have 6 more energies to go. So the first year is all these new changes, right? These new things happening, leadership changes, dictatorship, people being selfish and things of that nature. The second energy that's coming is cooperation and partnership. So you're going to start seeing people form into these silos of we're going to have a group that's going to be against that group. So you're going to see the split and the different factions of people join together. Some of this is going to be beneficial for some of you, but a lot of it will not be. An example of this would be when people decide to go to war, they say, which side am I going to be on, right? And you're going to see clear lines drawn. So that's what the second year is about. But it's also partnerships, right? So within your personal life, you're going to see clear lines forming in partnerships. You're going to see people deciding that, yes, I need to be paired with someone, and this person is more likely going to help me navigate these next 6 years. And then you're going to see other people realize specifically in your current relationship, if you're having struggles in it as of today, during this year two, you're going to see clearly whether or not you need to stay or go. And for a lot of you, it's going to be go. Okay. For a majority of you, it's going to be go. So the relationship that you are in today, you will not be in 1 year from now, just for most of you. Okay. Because you're going to realize that when it comes to what's the division of what's happening, you have to be aligned with someone that aligns with you from the standpoint of where you would like to see things go. All right. So let's pull the cards randomly. Let's start with the energy. And this energy, don't mind that it's upside down. All right. For those of you who are on TikTok, don't mind that it's upside down. I turned it up. The first energy, ooh, and it matches my clothes. All right. The first energy is forgiveness. And I've been dealing a lot with a lot of spirits coming through and things. And some of you need to have forgiveness for those who have gone, who have done you wrong. Some of you are still holding on to pain and suffering from a person who's no longer here. And I mean no longer here in the physical. They cannot, you can't have a conversation. They can't, communicate with you because most of you guys aren't tapped into spirit. You can't communicate with them, and you're still holding on with something they did to you that they never got right or you never got right. That is causing you to have a setback in your life. You need to let it go. Okay, so the other thing it says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So some of you, you're like, you know what? My relationship is not going the way I need for it to go. Oftentimes, it's because you have brought this energy from the past into the new relationship. And that it no matter, because if you get my books, you know that my psychology, not my astronumerology books, and I don't have one near me, but we talk about relationship, all three different major levels, right? You got your family, personal relationships, you got your work relationships, and you got your friendship relationships. And some of you, because you have not forgiven that other person, you're taking that energy into your new relationships, right? Old job, new job, old boyfriend, new boyfriend, old girlfriend, new girlfriend, family, cousin did this cousin might do it too. Mama did this, just taking that energy into the new relationship, and it is keeping you stuck. So, you got to let that go. September, let it go, right? And that's so important because September is the ninth month and it is about letting go and moving on. It is the last number in the traditional numerology numbers, right? We're not talking about the master number. So numerology goes from 0 to 9. Y'all know how I am about that zero energy, but I know traditional numerologists, they just do 1 through 9. Fryson numerology, Fryson astronumerology, more specifically, we do 0 through 9. We do master numbers 11, 22, 33, and 44, right? So remember, when I speak, it's based on Fryson astronumerology from Dr. Fryson, right? You guys don't get stuck, right? There's always new information and there's always elevation, okay? Just saying hi to anybody who may join. Um, Drop your comments. When I see them, I'll respond to them. Okay, you guys, so it's time for me I can feel when this goes off because it only lasts for like 20 minutes and then I have to do it 2 more times. All right, so let's do the next card. So remember, the major energy for September is forgiveness. And what other energy do you guys have to work with? What is this? Again, let's turn it up there. Imagination. All right. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. How can you be more creative, right? Creativity is the energy of 3. 3, 6, 9s go together in numerology. This is the ninth month. 3 is 1/3 of that, which means 1/3 of the energy that you're going to have this month is around creativity, creating a new life for yourself, creating new goals for yourself, doing creative projects, doing writing, doing art, doing joyful things, right? Making something, creating a business, creating a legacy, right? Creating peace, creating a home environment that speaks to you, okay? Creativity, right? Think of ways to be more creative. Think of ways to release and forgive. Put those together. Find creative ways to get your forgiveness done. You guys know I have those grief books that I've made for you and those different journals that I've made for you. And one of the exercises that is common in many of my books, including my anxiety, depression books, my victim books, right, is about releasing. And there's release exercises. Now, the shaman in me tells you to do the candle work, do the release and burn it and let it go. You can also do a release in the symbol of taking a butterfly and put, how they have the butterflies in the little container, put your whatever your thing is, and then let those go and do a release that way. You can also go outside and burn whatever it is in a burn pit and release it that way. You can have a crying session and have a release that way. So you have to be creative about how you do the forgiveness. If the person is no longer here, what can you do to let go of the pain and the hurt and whatever's holding you back surrounding that energy? Okay. That's the second card, right? So you got 2 energies. And the third energy, random pull. Let's see if this one, another one that's upside down. Let's see, purpose. And it's like purple, I love it. Doesn't match, right? I know what I am here to do. Do you? The ninth energy is about higher callings, education, right? We're in the ninth month for September. Do you know your purpose? If you have a lot of things that you need to forgive, if you're not forgiving people, your purpose is blocked because you cannot get to the purpose because this energy is holding you back, right? Letting go and forgiving and moving forward frees you up to walk in your true purpose. Again, if you don't know your purpose, aside from having sessions with me, you can get my book regarding your astrology rising sign, right? So in that book, I give you pointers for how to figure out jobs and careers that will work for your rising sign. Remember, you got your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And most people work on the sun sign, which is a patriotic aspect. Some people will work on your moon side, which is a matriarchic aspect. And then there's your rising sign, which is your ascendant in this world, right? It really is the aspect of who you are most of the time. Masculine and feminine energy are fluid. Okay. So you need to work on discovering your purpose. If you do not know your purpose, there's ways to figure it out. Okay. So the three energies, the lessons are in this order: forgiveness, imagination, and finding your purpose. You can also use your imagination to find your purpose. You can journal about things that give you life, give you energy, make you feel good, make you feel happy. Whatever it is that you're meant to do in this world should bring you joy. If it brings you joy, you will be able to focus on it for a much longer period. You would be able to do it with ease, meaning you will want to get up and do it each day. It's not forced upon you, right? So just like today, I decided I wanted to give you guys this reading. I was doing it before and I, had other things. And I said, today I want to do some readings for people, a general reading, and then let's see what the lessons are for the month because it is the ninth month. I say no to that. If I don't know you, you're not going to be a co-host. Or maybe one day I might be feeling frisky and might do, yeah, let's co-host today. Who knows? But today is not that day. All righty. So let's get into the astrology numerology for September. September is the ninth month, which means the ninth house, and we're in the ninth year, which means the nine energy is compounded. And it also means the ninth astrological sign, which is Sagittarius. So the energies that you're going to working with are the nine from numerology, the ninth house, and the Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is an energy that sets its sight on something and aims for it, and they're meticulous about achieving it. Jupiter is the energy of expansion. So this month, you can focus on setting your sights on a goal and achieving it and expanding in business and life and love and health. You can also expand in the ways of gaining weight if you don't do things and don't be active, right? That's the energy that's there. So let's look at a couple of things that I want to mention for you guys regarding the nine energy from the numerology standpoint, because a lot of people look at numerology and you want to say, well, nine means endings. What's going to end? Endings always bring about beginnings. Nine means transformation, right? It's a conclusion, but it's normally turning into something else. So it's a time to clean up things, to close things off, say no to things that no longer fit in your life. Yes. Does it mean sometimes death? Yes, but death also always brings about rebirth. It's not always a physical death, although in the ninth month of this year, we will see a lot of physical death. just because we are in that 7-year cycle that I spoke about earlier. So there's going to be the death of the leaders. Some leaders who are corrupt will not be here in October, right? For those of you in the United States, it's not him, it's other ones. So again, so that 9 energy is about transitioning on one side, right? It's about the conclusion on one side. It's also about the ninth house. And when you think of it in the sense of the ninth house brings education, knowledge, lessons. The ninth house represents someone that you think knows things, who you respect, kind of like a father figure or an authoritative person who was authoritative in all of the right ways. They were a guiding force. So they knew something and they shared that information with you. And that maybe it made you want to go forward and learn more and gain knowledge and travel and experience things, which brings us to another point. The 9 energy is also about leaving one place and going to another place in the physical sense, which means there could be a lot of travel, right? Because we are also in that energy of transitioning from that one to that second energy. A lot of you could be traveling to meet lovers, to meet partners, to meet long distance lovers and partners. So this can be relationships that are overseas. And that could be happening for a lot of you guys. You're making that love connection with someone who is, and when the distance, when I say is greater than 400 miles, right? That's a hike, right? You going 400 miles for somebody, that's kind of, they're not down the street. Okay. So for this month, there's some of you who might be making that kind of travel to connect with someone on that level. The other thing that happens with this 9 energy is that there's certain careers that are highlighted in this month. There's more of an energy towards those careers. And I'm going to give you a list of those careers: publishers, writers, reporters, foreign correspondents, right? Again, travel, foreign lands, editors, circulation manager, teachers, doctors, artists, social workers, preachers, healers, counselors, astronomer, nurse, metaphysicians, priest, minister, right? And the ninth house in general is seen with priests too on one level, okay? Because that's a spiritual guru, right? That's a spiritual teacher. That's someone you learn from, right? You think of Gandhi, you think of people like that that you learn from, that help you grow in your spiritual walk. That could be your priest at your whatever industry you're in as far as a religion goes. But these careers, including the illustrator, and that illustrator is really important because I know someone who has the ability to become an illustrator and you're doubting yourself. And I know this person personally. So this message is that this month you need to work on a plan to actually seeing if you can illustrate. Start with books. There's a lot of people who are looking for illustrators. You can start putting your information out there, and this is personal, so this is not for everybody. This is for someone specific. You can start putting your information out there on your social media platforms, put some of your drawings out there, tell people you're interested in helping them. I know because I'm an author, I know a lot of people who are looking for illustrators for their book, and they don't have the funds to pay someone who's already really established. That could be a niche market for you. All right. You're welcome. All righty. So those kinds of people, those people who are in those careers, can see this become a more impactful time for them. Everyone else can as well. If you are a healer, I think you need to focus on doing some self-care because you can be overwhelmed with the amount of people who need your assistance. I'm a therapist, right? So I have a lot of people who come to me and they need my assistance and they have a lot of problems and they lay those problems at my doorstep. And I have to do some things so that I don't carry their problems and their grief with me and I'm able to function during the day, right? You got to do that. Same thing if you're a priest or a minister or anyone, a nurse, especially, a metaphysician, a doctor, a teacher. Oh my God, my teachers, because school just got back in for a lot of you. What are you doing on the weekend to take care of yourself? How are you being created for yourself? Okay. The nine energy in numerology is also a humanitarian energy. The people that are listed in those careers are considered humanitarian. They think about others a lot of times before they think about themselves. That's the challenge with the nine. That's why the ninth energy becomes such a teacher to all of us because you have to learn so much. One, in order to help others, you have to learn a lot, right? But then it teaches us about ourselves. A lot of people who are in industries, such as a lot of the psychologists I know who are psychologists, they themselves went into psychology because they wanted to discover the things within themselves, right? Um, Doctors, a lot of doctors that I know, they went into medicine because they had a family member or a health crisis or something. There's a lot of motivations, right? It's a learning time, it's a spiritual time, and enlightenment time. So this month will be full of enlightenment. It will be full of gems. So you need to pay attention so that you can then take these little gems that come and do something with them. You will have more insight into your purpose in this world this month for those of you who don't know. And then there's a group of you who think that it's too late for you to reach your purpose because you're, older and you think, I'm past that time. Not so. If you are still here, you can still reach a purpose. The reason you are here is because you still have a purpose. Now, just because your purpose might not look like someone else's doesn't make it any less important. Okay. So let's keep that in mind. In general, with this nine energy, there's some good things that we're going to see. It's that a lot of people are going to be looking at ways to make sure everyone is taken care of, right? All of humanity. So you're going to see a lot of more altruistic behavior. You're going to see a lot more of people coming forth to be like, yes, let's give this aid to this place. Let's go and help these people who are dealing with floods. Let's go help these people who are dealing with fires that you're like, why in the world would there be a fire breaking out in September? But there's going to be. And so you're going to have people who are going to be able to assist them. Yes, that was a prediction. That just happens. If it comes, you guys get it. That's how it is. Another thing to be mindful of is finish old projects. If you are getting ready to go into something new, it's really difficult to completely walk in that new thing while you're holding on to something else. Complete those projects so you can go forward with the new projects in October, right? Where we get the 10 energy, that 1 in 0, a really magnificent time for a new start. All right. Now we are going to have, and I'm talking to you guys on TikTok because a couple of you guys joined. So we are going to have some egotistical maniacs running wild, doing their thing, right? You can't let that destroy you, bother you, cause you to lose sight of your purpose. You must focus on that which you are capable of changing and doing and making a difference in. If you are in no position to effect change, don't put your energy there. All right. Okay. So that is the other part. That's the energy. Now, another thing I wanted to mention about this little Sagittarius energy that's happening in this ninth house, right? When you look at your astrology chart, your natal astrology chart, you need to look at where the Sagittarius energy falls in your chart. So if the Sagittarius energy is in your fourth house, that means that you're going to have some conclusions and endings in that fourth house, some that you were not expecting. For those of you who know astrology, the fourth house is about home. Okay. If that Sagittarius is in your seventh house, which is the career sector, you may have a change in jobs. So I want you to look at the Sagittarius energy in your chart, see where it is, and know that this 9 energy can be impactful in that area. As with astrology, you always want to look at the opposite energy. So you want to look at the house that is across from the ninth energy in order for you to see what that is and see if there's some strays, I call them, right? Some little energies, bam, if you follow astrology and you look at the cycles and you see that Jupiter is retrograding in a particular area at a particular time, look and see where that ninth house is, because you're going to see the impact of that Jupiter energy in that house, right? Wherever that Sagittarius is, whatever ninth house is for you, because the ninth house isn't the ninth house for everybody, right? The ninth house traditionally starts with Aries being in the first house, and then the ninth house comes around the Sagittarius. But if you are a Pisces rising, right, you're the 12th sign, then Aries starts in the first house, and your ninth house actually moves over to where your 10th house is. Okay. So your seventh house is your love, right? Your contracts and things of that nature. That's two houses over. So if you go backwards by two, then that gives you to where the ninth house will be in that house. So you got to check your chart, which is the essence of why you follow astrology, right? And this is why I do astrology and numerology, because this is how the universe gave us the maps, right, to the energies and what would be happening and all the chaos and non-chaos in the world. Okay, so let's go look at specifically for the United States. Let's turn to September for United States. And my baby and I are back together again. Oh, So that song just came into my mind. So does that mean that some of you guys are going to get back with an ex? What you say? What you say? Some of y'all getting back with an ex? Okay. I didn't see that coming. I wasn't thinking about that, but obviously that's going to happen because it just came into my head. All right. So September being the ninth month and um uh the, the ninth year in the United States, a lot of endings, a lot of things coming to a conclusion that weren't expected, and a lot of lessons to be learned at that time. So it's going to get pretty interesting, a little intense, but we'll make it through. So let's now shift and look at the astrology. And the astrology, and this is the astrology according to, one is Vedic astrology, and two, this is based on the East Coast. I'm using the New York time zone. So that's the Eastern time zone in order to do this. No, I don't know you. Okay, fine. Turn on. Hmm. No, I don't know. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. So let's get into the astrological connections that are going to take place. And so, again, in the New York energy, if you are not in the Eastern time zone, you will need to adjust the astrology based on where you are. And additionally, if I tell you a day, remember there's the energy, because it's based on time and your time of birth, it's going to impact you normally 1 to 2 days, right? So it's not either going to be the day before or the day after. So I always give a 3 day kind of window with the energies that I see, because it's based on your actual time and place of birth. So here we are, September 1st. And let me go back, take the hour back a little bit. Let's take the hour back and start it. Because let's start in the morning. In the morning. Woo! Oh, Lordy. So in the morning, we start with a lot of energy. Man, I'm telling you. September is going to start off with a bang, right? With a bang. So, so starting off with September, we have a lot of energies at play in one house, the first house, which the first house is the body, right? The first house, you're in the first house most of the time. And starting September 1st or August 31st or September 2nd, remember the 3-day window. But we're going to start with the energy of having the sun, K2, Mercury, all of that energy in one place. And now I'm not going to do the transits to see exactly, well, I might do the transits. I might feel like doing the transits. But what we're going to have in the 12th house is Venus. So Venus is the love energy. So that love energy has a little bit of aspect on the first house, which is involving Mercury, right? That's Virgo and Gemini. It's involving the sun, which is a fiery kind of Leo type energy. And then it's involving K2. And K2 is the bringer of secrets. The K2 is part of that revealing of secrets, but K2 reveals secrets in a way that you don't necessarily want it to be revealed. So I would say that some of you might have some health concerns, might have some heart concerns that you need to focus on because that might be revealed to you. Some of you might have some hand concerns because Mercury is a creative writing energy or energy of creation. But some of you might have some little boy concerns, right? Y'all know me and y'all know what your little boy is, right? Some of you might have those types of health concerns in that type of setting. On the other side, we have some love with some young tenderonis. So some of you guys will be going into new relationships with someone who is younger than you are, right? And more childlike, more youthful, have a joy for life, right? So some of you might be going into that energy this month. As a matter of fact, it is brand new, fresh kind of energy. So it's really going to start off in September. You might have a little bit of a hint about it in the end of August and then pick it up in September. So that's good for you guys. Yay for you guys. Those of you who are going into that. Now, again, remember, it's not for everyone because we all have different things happening. So it starts out also with Leo energy and the sun and Leo being together, which means everything about Leo, everything about take charge, everything about getting it done, everything about aggressiveness, everything about Leo is going to be involved in the first house. And that means a lot of you might find that you're on a new aggressive exercise, weightlifting, power type routine for your health. So Pilates, anything that gives you more strength. You might start that new program in September, right? Because that's the energy that's there. Leo is also a great leader. So if you actually have a business that involves weightlifting, Pilates, something like that, to where you're causing people to have some extra strength, you're going to be more successful this month. It's going to be time for you to leave your old job and do this full time this month in September. So for you, if that's your business, look, you need to come back. I'm tired of giving y'all predictions and y'all don't come back until 2-3 months later and tell me. I need for you to come back in September and tell me that, hey, that was me you were talking to. Instead, you come back, 2-3 months later, then expect me to go find the video and update the video. No, I need you to come back, save the video, come back, tell me, oh, that was me. My exercise program that I have, it took off, my, coaching, whatever, it took off in September. All right, come back and let me know so then I don't have to be like, oh, when was that? Y'all know, y'all play too much. Yes, y'all play too much. All right, so this is all the first day. So then the next thing we have is we move over into some Mars energy, and then we move into some things with some mothers in the home life. And this mother in the home life is sunsetting. So unfortunately, there's condolences to those of you who the mother is sunsetting. Those of you who know me, you know what that means. Then you have the second thing that happens. This is a very interesting thing that happens. You're going to have this very first part. See, there's a lot. When I say there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of energy. You got K2 and Rahu opposite each other. So Rahu is in your seventh house, which is partnerships and marriages. This is not a good time for you to get married. So if you were thinking of marrying somebody in September, you need to put it off because y'all aren't going to make it. Yeah, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be the shortest marriage you've ever seen. Um, Now that's not for everybody because it all depends on your energy. But there's a lot of you that is going to be an impulsive, let's get married in this month. The answer is no. You need to wait because there's some information that's going to come to light that's going to make you question the relationship, and it makes you question things. And actually, you're going to find some things on a computer or a phone. So you're going to find information. It's probably a computer's technology. So you're going to find the secrets probably on the computer or the cell phone, something like that. So you're going to find out secrets about your partner in the month of September. So why get married? Just hold off. Wait. If it's real, if you don't find anything in September, then get married in October. For those of you who are doing that little quick thing, you want to, it's like, oh, we're going to go to the courthouse. Don't do it. Wait. All right. The other energy that starts off happening is Sagittarius is expensive and by default can be obese. Okay. So there's some obesity challenges. So the obesity challenges that's probably related to the heart, also might be related to diabetes and to circulation. Okay. So that means if you have a doctor, make an appointment to go see your doctor to check on your health. There's a issue that you had a feeling about, your body was trying to tell you about, but you didn't get it like checked out. And now you're going to get it checked out and find out that you need to make some changes. Okay. That's September. Um, so let's see. And remember, I told you guys that Jupiter energy, because it's the ninth month. And I say, when the Jupiter energy, you need to look at the Sagittarius energy and you need to look at where they are. For the Eastern Coast, that Jupiter energy is in the 11th house of technology and friendships and the normal Aquarius type energy. I want everybody to be good, 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 except for in this particular case, it is working with the Gemini energy instead of the Sagittarius energy. And with that Gemini energy, that's a good time for careers, for comedians, expanding their platforms, actors, actresses. So a good television, a good time for influencers to be able to expand through a technological things such as social media, phones, or computers, and things of that nature. So again, a great time for you in that sense. You also have the aspect by Venus, so I can expect for some of you to find some type of romantic or lovely thought about that situation, that new career, like you all into it. Sometimes over romanticizing. So don't put your blinders on, right? Be realistic about it. And then I see, no, what is this other energy here in the dashas here? Oh, look at there. There you have with the Mercury dasha, and Mercury gets along with Jupiter. And this Mercury dasha is because Jupiter and Mercury, they are right with each other. So it's not really a combative type energy, which means that if you're working on creative projects, your creative projects will expand, will grow. And some of you, this will be globally. So if you have book projects out there, this could be a time, and I use book projects because I'm an author, right? So if you have book projects, you can see your books expand to international markets during this time. Or if currently you're based in, say, one location in the south or in the north or in the east, you can see your book projects expand to the west coast or the opposite coast. So you can see growth in your book projects, but it's about creative projects. So creative projects are more than just books. So if you're into the artistic side, there you have it. This can be a good season for you, a good expansion season for you in that sense. Now, the thing to watch out for is that, oh, ah, arthritis, by the way, watch out for arthritis and inflammation, new inflammatory arthritis diagnosis. But the thing, I sidetracked, there's so much energy. The other thing about this that you have to be careful of is that some of these expansions, when they start, you might have a whew, it starts out as great. It's like bam, goes off really fast, and then it slows down. And that might cause you to worry and then think that, oh, it's not going to take off. Don't worry, it is going to take off. That's just like a little bit of a little kind of retrograde in a sense, and then it'll go forward again. So don't give up just because it changes a little bit. Okay, so then let's go next. I'm gonna go now. That's how it starts. And I'm gonna just keep moving until I see something that um, catches my eye as to be really important for you guys, such as this one that's really important. Hmm, how do I say this? How do I say this? How do I say this? Um, some of you may have a father of a child who is a Leo. The father is a Leo. The this is a very specific message. There's some secrets being revealed about the Leo father in relation to the child. I know, I know. Um, that's being revealed coming up in its time. So it is what it is with that. So pay attention because there's some secrets being that you will run into. All right. The other thing that's happening is that's okay. That's all right. That's not so bad. Um, changing careers. Some of you are changing your creative career. Some of you are going solo this month. All right, so let's go. Let's go. Let's go look at some other stuff that's happening. Anything else? I don't like this Mercury, Sun, and K2 energy that is going around together. It's going to hit you guys in so many different areas, right? And then this K2 there with that Rahu is just really getting me. So there's some school things that are going to happen. And I hate to even say this. Oh, there's going to be an attack on a school system's technology. So that you're going to see that in the news that a school um somebody's going to hack the school system technology. That's going to happen. Yes, I give all the energy. I don't give the good stuff. I give all the stuff. I give the other stuff too. So that's going to happen. You're going to see that happen. Um, then the other thing is that's I'm really not liking this. Again, I'm just not liking that sun, that Mercury, and that K2. I like the sun and on some levels, but it being together with the Mercury and the K2 and going house to house, it's gonna be some reckonings coming. I just don't not really a fan of that, but okay, it is what it is. All right. And then finally, of course, that gets to this. You guys gonna have I don't know who this is, but y'all gonna have somebody go off at work personally. Uh, and that's gonna be kind of funny in a sense. Some of the people I know, it better not be you. It better not be you, because I know some of y'all are on edge with your job. Don't come back to me telling me that you was the person I was talking about who went off on your job and got fired, because that's what's gonna happen. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right, so let's move on. Let's go back a little bit. Let's move on. Let's just get to some other energies for you guys. All right, so let's go. We're going to look and see next energy, next energy. Saturn's going to be stuck in your contract energy, which means that there's going to be delays in some of the things that you're signing that you think will move you forward. It also means that you need to read the fine print for the contract. And it also means that some of you may be influenced by a male figure when it comes to your contract. And the male figure might not have your best at it in their mind as being what's best. They might really have a hidden kind of agenda, and they might be thinking that they're doing something good for you, but they really aren't. That it's more good for them. And this is also, in this sense, there's something dealing with the elderly person. And I say elderly person only in a sense of this person's probably in the, when I say elderly, they're probably in the later 70s, not, that's elderly, at least late 60s through 70s, someone in that sense. And they may have a will that there's going to be some contention over. They don't necessarily have to go, but there's going to be some information coming up about their stuff, their paperwork, their will, their trust, their whatever their stuff is. There's some issues coming up for you directly with that in your family. So pay attention to that. Move forward. What else we got? And then what happens? Huh? Hmm. Technology is going to be dominated by putting things together that are about task-oriented solutions. So if you have a business idea that can help someone automate their task systems that they have to do, whether it's in personal life or in business life, help them get more time back into their day. September is going to be the start of that idea and that concept that's going to be able to take off in October. And you're going to need to have a partner, and the partnership is going to have detailed contracts. You're going to need to spell out who does what, how you split the profits, and you're going to need to spell out what happens if that business were to dissolve in order to protect yourself in the future, because the business is going to be very successful, but the partnership is not. Okay. Oh, thank you. Finally, you get to a point. Finally, we get to a point, right? Where Ah, let me tell you something. You're going to have a lot of things happening with children. You're going to have a lot of things happening with technology this entire month. And another thing we're going to happen is more hidden new energy coming out in love affairs. Look here, I not want to tell you guys to go searching for things, but it's just going to be found. Y'all are going to find a lot of things this month that's going to change your relationship. And there's going to be a lot of relationships coming to a conclusion because of it. All righty, let's go and let's see anything else really interesting for you guys. Now, when we get to almost the end of the month, around September 20th or so, we're going to have an energy shift. And again, we're going to have the sun and Mercury together, which they like to be together. But then we're going to have the moon join it in a new kind of setting. And we're going to have this associated with the Virgo energy. And we know we're in Virgo season, we'll be leaving Virgo season, which means if you are a Virgo, during that last week, you're going to have extra little help, right? And if you are someone who just so happens to have Virgo as your opposite sign, you're going to have a little bit of challenge because a lot of times, and so you know who that is, that's Pisces. You're going to need to be as disciplined as the Virgo in order to achieve the help or receive the help that is going to come from the sun, Mercury, and moon being together. Because that is like the mother, father, and the son, right? The mother, father, and the child being together. That's the happy little family kind of thing, ideal situation. And Virgo is also a creative kind of energy, right? Ruled by Mercury. And so when Virgo has its own Mercury energy, it's like compounded, which means your digital products that you're creating, your writings that you're creating could be all of a sudden soaring, could take off, right? So that's 3 weeks into September. That could be a very good time for you. Okay. Very good time for you. I like that for you. And I am telling you. All righty. And we, in the month, we, no, not, we, in the month, with a heartfelt communication, with a feminine energy at work, someone who's in a leadership position over you, you're going to end the month with a heart to heart communication with them that is going to change your career direction. They may even point you in the direction of where you need to go next. Hmm. And at the end of the month, you start seeing the Libra balance. At the end of the month, you start seeing where your life is out of balance from a career and a personal aspect, meaning your job is taking up too much of your time, or you're spending too much time playing and not putting as much time into your business. You're going to start seeing where that is, and you're going to work on a plan to fix that. That Mercury energy that is very prevalent right now says, well, during the month of September, says that you need to work on plans. You need to be diligent. You need to be organized in all these different aspects of your life. And at the end of the month, why it's going to take you to the end of the month to get there when I'm telling you this now. But don't worry, guess what? It's all right. If you find out it's the end of the month and you finally there, it's all right. Okay. But you're going to need to get that organization in place, get that dedication in place, get that routine in place, and also be kind of a youthful joy of expectation about the situation in order for you to see it become beneficial for you in your life and to see it come to fruition. These are energies, right? And if the energy is there and you work with the energy, you get the results. If you don't work with the energy, you get the lower energy, you get the lower vibrations, right? So you get the other side of Mercury, right? The opposite side of Mercury is slacking off, playing too much, right? Not paying attention to the documents, not paying attention to the forms. And then guess what that causes? Later on, that causes tax crises, right? And businesses. That causes you may not pay somebody on time, or somebody may not pay you on time because you played too much. You had too much fun. Fun is good, right? Now, there's some of you guys who do too much work and not enough fun. But September is not about that for a majority of you. What September is about is reading the fine print, making sure that everything is done how it needs to be so you can close some things out and be ready for the new that's coming in. September is also about expansion. If you have a business, maybe you need to go international, right? Or maybe you just need to go beyond your state or your city. Maybe you got to start with another city, right? Maybe you need to travel because that ninth energy is about travel. So maybe your business will grow if you travel with it during the month of September. And I'm saying maybe, but the maybe is reality. All right. The maybe is reality. Okay. Now, that was it. All right. This is probably going to be a long video, and that's okay. If you made it to the end, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Kindly, I appreciate it. If you guys want me to do more of these, let me know. I am transitioning to where I'll be getting more into my astrology and numerology. you guys want to connect with me, go to my website, www.bighealing.com. And of course, you can book a therapy session with me. Of course, you can buy one of my books if you want to support my work that I do with suicide people, suicide awareness kind of thing. Dr. Fryson Spiritual Wellness Center is my nonprofit, and I publish all my books through my nonprofit. And so if you purchase one of my books, even to give away as a gift, that would be helpful. If you are a laboratorian, I have coloring books. They're little small coloring books, but remember my prices reflect the fact that you are purchasing to support this other mission that I have. Okay. So if you want to purchase any of my books published by Dr. Fryson Spiritual Wellness Center, my nonprofit, do so on my website, share them. Some of you who have gotten my books on anxiety and anger management, please share those with someone that you know need them. My astrology series and all those books are available on the site. Remember, I print those directly. And then, of course, my skincare line. Bye-bye. I know. Don't forget my hair growth, my crown root hair growth. You guys saw the video. So those products are not from a nonprofit, right? Okay. But a lot of the work that I do when I work with people, when I'm able to assist people who do not have the funds, comes from the fact that you guys purchase and support me by buying the books, right? So you buy the books so that I can help other people, right? And people who need to be helped for free. Okay. There's people who need that. They don't have the funds, but they still deserve the help. So you help me help them when you purchase the books. All right. So I truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and see you next time. Bye bye. All right. Love you.